And we are back, y'all, over here at Mr. Eddie's house. And Mr. Eddie has a story he wants to tell us with some cards here.
Well, this right here was an old man, and this was his wife. And this is the one and only son. Now, no offense to nobody, no picking up, no laying down, no sideways, but his name is Jim. Now, in his mother's eyes, he's the greatest child that ever walked the street. I mean, he's just wonderful because that's mama's only baby. But in his daddy's eyes, he ain't much good. He won't work. He won't get a job. He lays around the house. Sorry, good for nothing. Now, this old man, he owns a sawmill.
Mm-hmm.
So he shows up and he says, Jim, look here. He said, I know you ain't going to do no work. Well, could you go see about getting me a couple of 3 guys to help me? Jim said, sure thing, Paul. He said, I'll catch the next train out. He said, what about the $5? So we leave the $5 up to Mr. Thomas. You want him to take it? You want him to leave it?
Just leave it. Just leave it.
He go broke. All right. Here, go take a cut one time. Let's see what happens.
All right. Now I'm going to cut the cards here.
His old Jim hit the train and took off. The old man, he said, you know, I could not believe that boy would just jump up and jump on that train like that without a penny in his pocket, take off across the country, not knowing where he's going or what he's going to do, but he'll do it every time I turn around. He jumps on that train. Old lady said, now don't be upset with Jim. Said, go on down there to the train station and wait on him. Said, Jim will be coming in. Well, lo and behold, that Sunday morning, whenever the train come in, he looked up and Jim stepped off. He said, here I am, Paul. He said, and I brought you 3 fellas here to help you around the sawmill. He said, but I'm going to tell you now, you owe me $7. You got to pay me. So the old man, he paid him the 7. Well, they worked on a good while, and one of them got his sleeve caught in a limb, and it jerked him in the saw and cut his arm off. And the old man was going in debt and having all kinds of trouble. He come back to Jim. He said, Jim, I know we don't see eye to eye, but would you please try to get me some young fellas, something that can break the glove, jerk the limb off, something. I mean, I'm dying here. I got to do something. Jim said, calm down, Paul. He said, I'll catch the next train out. So old Jim hit the train and took off. Well, lo and behold, the old man, he's kind of fidgety because he's going to debt paying these doctor bills for this man and trying to get everything done, and he can't get enough work done. And so he's down there at the train station 2 or 3 times a week sometimes looking for Jim. But Jim always catches that train that comes in on Sunday. There's something about Sunday morning coming down that old Jim kind of likes Sunday morning. So the old man, he's sure to go down there on Sunday morning. Sure enough, he's standing there whenever the train whistle blowed, looked up, and lo and behold, Jim jumped out of the back car and said, here I am, Paul. He said, and with me, he said, I brought you 3 young guys. Said, they'll be here long enough to dig your grave. Don't worry about it. But by the way, Paul, you owe me $7. So he paid him the $7. Well, they worked on a good while out there. One day they had old Jim cornered up and they said, Jim, look here. Your mother is so kind of us, she's better to us than our own mother. And your daddy don't holler at us too much. But if we don't get some girls out here, we're going to have to take off away from this place. Jim said, hey, y'all take care of mom and daddy. I'll take care of y'all. Said, I'll catch the next train out. So old Jim hit the train and took off. Them boys, they couldn't keep their pants on. They was running around there all week long. Talking to old man, when's the train coming in? Old man said, look here, Jim only comes in on Sunday morning train, and they don't get here till about 5:30, 6 o'clock on a Sunday morning. So they went down there 6 o'clock Sunday morning. Sure enough, Jim stepped off the train. He said, here I am, boys. He said, I brought y'all a girl apiece. He said, I'll tell you what, though, before them 3 girls right there, you're going to have to pay me $7. So they paid him the $7, you know. They're sitting around there laughing, talking, shooting the breeze, carrying on, having a good time, whatever. One of them said, Jim, you're a real smart fella. I said, why do you hang around here? Jim says, I've never been to school but twice, once on Sunday and once when the school called a fire, but I do know there's 365 days in a year besides leap year. I know there's 48 states in the Union before Hawaii and Alaska that was added. I know there's 5 working days and 6 soldier days. But outside of that, I don't know very much. One of the boys spoke up and said, you know where to get something to drink? He said, oh, I'm an alcoholic myself. Said, I'll catch the next train out. Well, old Jim took off while the boys sat around and got accustomed to their new girlfriends and everything that was going on. And they couldn't hardly wait till the Sunday get there because they know the good and well Jim be on that train on Sunday morning. And sure enough, whenever the train whistle blowed Sunday morning, they went running down there to the train station and old Jim jumped off the back car and said, here I am, boys. He said, and I tell you what, when I came in this time, I brought you 4 cases of whiskey. It's all the same brand. And I brought you 4 cases of beer, and it's all the same brand. But I want you to give me $7, so, well, they paid him the 7. Well, one of these boys ain't like I am. One of these boys is a real card shark. So he goes over here and he starts dealing his hand out. He says, I'm taking y'all's money today. I am going to burn the house down. Ain't nobody going to be able to buy a pack of cigarettes Monday morning. So he got his hand dealt out over here. And this boy here, he said, I got to go. I'll see y'all later. Well, they said, Jim, you mind taking one of his hands? Jim said, sure, I'll take the one he left. Whatever, you know. The guy said, it don't matter who took what. Said, I'm telling you right now. Said, I'm taking it. Ain't nobody getting nothing. Well, whenever he turned his hands, he had 3s. He didn't have nothing to brag about, but he had 3 trees. He said, I bet $10. That boy sat next to him and said, you been lying since you come out here. You ain't good for nothing. I don't believe nothing you say. You bet $10? He said, I know I can bet you $10. Well, he turned his hand and got to look at it. And he had 4s and 8s. He had 2 pair. He said, I'll raise you $5. Jim said, well, boys, I'll tell you the truth. Y'all called me in here kind of late. I didn't expect to get into this. But you bet 10, and raise 5, and I want to be kind. I bet you 15 and raise you 5. There's 2 $10 bills. And then he went to look for his hand, and he found out he had 1, 2, 3, whoops, 4 natural 9s. Can you beat him? Now, Jim might have been lazy and sat around the house and done nothing, but he took and paid his own damn way, all right? Me and God love you. I want you to stay happy. That means I don't care who you make mad, you stay happy. We out of here.
And that was card storytelling with Mr. Eddie. Never seen anything like it. And you'll never see it again. Except on this channel. So like and subscribe, share it with your friends. And like he said, me and God love you. We'll see you next time.